Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Gadget Show, live right here from Birmingham. My name is Total Brisket, bringing you this £5,000 Invitational Tournament as sponsored by Alienware right here in the Game Zone, brought to you by Heaven Media and, of course, the one and only Game. We're bringing you some fantastic players today. We're already about ready to get started, and I'm going to bring you Hasuobs v SjoW in a best-of-one group stage series. Hopefully you guys are ready to rock for that one. I certainly am. The players are chomping at the bit to rip bloody chunks out of each other, which is exactly what we want in this particular arena. So hopefully everyone is ready to get started, and everyone on the stream is all sorted out, in which case we are ready to rock and roll. I will let the players know. And hopefully you guys are going to have a fantastic day of Starcraft action coming right here, live from the NEC in Birmingham, the Gadget Show live. Very large event. If you guys have never been to it before, you are certainly missing out, that I can guarantee. Ran into some great personalities. We've got SjoW here. We've got Nogrim here. Of course, we've got Hasuobs, SjoW selecting pretty much everyone you can possibly imagine. It's going to be fantastic stuff, that I can tell you for a fact. It's a 6-player invitational tournament, and we are just about ready to get going. And we're going to check that the players are ready to start. Looking like they most likely will be. Looking good, folks. Looking good. So just give us a couple of moments, and we'll get some action on for you right here. Just about ready to go to game, folks. Absolutely. Just about ready to go to game. And SjoW's just going to take 1 second. And have some Protoss versus Terran action coming up for you right here. It's going to be good stuff. Really looking forward to this one. It'll be very, very entertaining. So we have some cracking players here. A lot of representatives from Team Dignitas. Of course, the UK-based operation here. SjoW from Team Dignitas, Select from Team Dignitas, Bling from Team Dignitas as well. Unfortunately, we were supposed to have Goody, but he's not here today. Regardless, it's going to be good, folks. You hear the count in, and we are ready to get started right here. I love the smell of violence in the morning, and that's what we're going to be getting right here on the GSL Crevasse from the GSL Team League. A fairly popular map, a good setup right here. Looking forward to this one. And we might be able to bring you some co-casting with Kaldor a little bit later on, who I ran into at this event. He is actually here, and he was saying that he doesn't actually have a computer with Starcraft on right now, which is a little bit problematic, I tend to find, when you try to cast Starcraft. Welcome to the Crevasse. I bring you Hasuobs and the Yellow Trunks from Team Mouse Sports. He is playing Protoss versus his opponent from Team Dignitas, the one and only SjoW. He is in the red trunks, and he is playing Terran. Oh, yes. Good bit of violence going to be going on right here, which is what we like to see. The group stage will be a best-of-1 format, and then after that, we will be going into the double elimination, which will be a best-of-3 playoff series. Oh, yes. Looking good, looking good. Final going down right here for Hasuobs as I get deafened by the in-game sound. Always a wonderful thing to start with, and we'll get that sorted out over the next couple of seconds. SjoW the Supply Duo coming down right here as well. Everything should be all good for him. Going to start off with the Supply Duo, I tend to find. It's a good solid foundation. Don't want to build your castle in the swampland. It will sink into the swamp. And if you build the second one, it'll probably sink into the swamp as well. The third one might stay up, but you never know. It may also catch fire, then sink into the swamp. Probably brought on by the aggression of Hasuobs. You never know. It has been known to happen, folks. It has. There's not a huge amount you can really do about that. Protoss players tend to get a little bit aggressive. They don't allow the Terran player to build a castle in the swamp or otherwise. Not what you really want, is it? SjoW the Barracks going up right here. And bear in mind, the Crevasse is set up in a rather interesting fashion in the fact that there is destructible debris on the ramp, but it is very easy to kill. It's not your usual destructible debris that can be blown up by, well, an awful lot of effort, let me put it that way. It's 1,000 HP, it's only got 1 armor on it, can be very easily chewed through. Some players decide to do that, some players don't. They like to create an artificial choke point using that. It depends on the playstyle of the particular player in question. Hasuobs gateway and a Cybernetic score going down right here. No nonsense from him whatsoever. There's the supply depot complete once again here for SjoW. Nicely set up. Now, SjoW, of course, was playing in the DreamHack Invitational. He has been known to spawn the Hero Banshee on more than one occasion. It's a violent Banshee, folks. It was brought up in a rough family environment. Honestly, to be fair, It was a poverty-stricken life for Hero Banshee, but it's okay, because he grew up to be a very violent individual. And as it turns out, he then went and killed around 34 probes in the DreamHack Invitational, which I am told is quite a lot. The question is, will Hasuobs be vulnerable to Hero Banshee? There's a possibility. Stalker on the way out to make sure Hero Banshee doesn't come in, and a fairly early expansion right here for SjoW. Now, the Crevasse does have a safe expansion at the back of the base, and I do say safe to the point whereby it can't really be attacked by ground easily, but it can be easily attacked by air and drops and that kind of stuff. Bunker coming down right here for SjoW. He is in it for the long haul, wants to defend that expansion almost immediately, and he should be able to deny scouting as well, since Hasuobs managed to scout the wrong area, which is not exactly ideal. By the time he gets over there, it's going to be well defended over the Marines at the ramp right here. However, Hasuobs is going to open up with a Stargate, and that is a little bit dangerous, folks. We've seen Hasuobs opening up with a Stargate before against Terran. He tends to go for the early Void Ray push. It is unpleasant, and bear in mind, this former Warcraft 3 player has excellent micromanagement and skill, as well as manual dexterity. So when it comes to managing those particular aircraft and making sure they don't run into horrible firepower on the ground, he is extremely good at doing just that. That could be very problematic for SjoW right here, since it's gone for this early expansion, which is of course very vulnerable to air, as you can see around this area right here. I would be concerned for him. I would certainly be concerned. We'll see whether or not he decides to go for the Void Ray. It is looking pretty likely that he will, but he's going to start off with a Phoenix just for a little bit of early scouting action. A smart move, considering the fact that SjoW's already walled off in a very distinguished manner, let me put it that way. It's a classy wall-off, ladies and gentlemen. A very classy wall-off right here from SjoW. 3 supply depots, a nice little formation. Play a little bit of Tetris going on with his base right here. And nothing is getting through there anytime soon, with the exception of that aircraft, which will be doing a little bit of a fly past and finding out exactly what's going on. Got a factory coming down for SjoW. SjoW, of course, the master of the Hellion. And also the master of not actually scouting his opponent all that much. He did find out where his opponent was, but he hasn't bothered to follow it up with a scout after that. SjoW, a very confident player in terms of guessing what his opponent does, and actually more often than not that has come back to bite him in the ass. Not the kind of thing you really want in a tournament of this kind of caliber. Of course, this is the group stage. You can afford a loss or two in this one, but I still won't want to do it. Phoenix has come around the side right here. Hasuobs with a little bit of harassment. Going to have a nice smash and grab right here on the mineral line. A one taken out, looking for a second. No, Marine. That's not going to happen. I cannot have that. Lots of damage being done to the light armor of the Marines. Shields down on that Phoenix. No worries right here whatsoever. And great scouting information acquired right here for Hasuobs as well. Nothing to worry about. Starport on the way up for SjoW right here, plus an engineering bay. We could be seeing Hellion drops, we could be seeing some Vikings in the air, and continued harassment coming in right here from Hasuobs. 3 Phoenixes now in the air, grabs another one, nails it down, no problems whatsoever for him. And if we have a look at the economic comparison, we can very easily see it right here. SjoW is doing all right, because he happens to have those 2 orbital command centers up, obviously a little bit behind in terms of his harvester count, or at least he will be if this harassment continues. As Hasuobs naps another one. And there we go, missiles are going to try and deal with the harassment from those Phoenixes, and I can't expect they're going to be able to do too much as this continues. We might be seeing Hero Banshee, ladies and gentlemen. It's looking very possible. A Banshee on the way right here for SjoW. Looking for some great Banshee action, and there's nothing worse than allowing SjoW to get a hold of a Banshee, but the air superiority of Hasuobs should be able to deal with that. Nays down another, and now taking missile fire from the ground. Needs to get the hell out of there. He does so very successfully. No losses right now for Hasuobs, and he is looking in a very, very good situation right now. You can see right there, he's managed to take out a good number of workers and a little bit of sniping on the unit count of his opponent, and right now sitting on 4 Phoenixes, 2 Stalker, and 2 Zealot. We're looking at 9 Marines and a single Hellion right now for SjoW. No aggression coming in as of yet, but those Banshees will certainly be able to follow up, and that late robotic spray could be problematic right here for Hasuobs. However, he does have an observer coming out. The question is, will they be able to get out in time? There we go. First Banshee will come out, and it will be spotted, I believe, almost immediately right here as Hasuobs takes a volley of ground fire, almost loses a Phoenix in the process, but no big worries for him whatsoever. 1 Banshee already in the air, looking for the second right here. Another grab, loses his first Phoenix, and still nothing to really worry about right now for Hasuobs. Piling on the pressure, following it up with the robotics bay, and another gateway on the way for him as well. Observer is on the field, ladies and gentlemen. Keep an eye on where that Banshee is, however. Trying to keep it out of the way, I believe. I think he's probably hiding it over here somewhere. Can't really find it on the map right now. I have to wonder how much damage he'll really be able to do with that one. With those Phoenixes in the air, it's going to prove to be rather difficult. Another Starport coming up right here. Couple of Vikings, grabs another SCV. Hasuobs will be driven back by those Vikings. Phoenix is not really a good match considering the numbers of them. 2 Vikings, 3 Phoenixes should be able to deal with it, I would think. We'll find out in the not too distant future. Vikings now on the field for him. double Banshee on the field as well. Just keep an eye out for what that Banshee's going to be doing. SjoW delaying this advancement until he's able to nail down the air superiority of his opponent. Hasuobs driven back by that Viking once again. Void Ray now on the field for Hasuobs as well. Extended Thermal Lance coming up here as well. And there we see the Colossus coming out. Well, if we have a look at the economic situation, we can see that SjoW still has a slight lead, not a huge amount right now. SjoW really not pushing with all that much, to be honest. Keeping those Banshees in his base until he is absolutely sure that he is able to deal with the forces of Hasuobs in the air. Only 3 Phoenixes out. Those Vikings should be able to deal with it. Looks like he is going to have a look around and see what he can see. Snipe off a couple more. His Viking count now sitting at 4, which will easily overwhelm the forces of Hasuobs. Hasuobs moving in once again. Looks like he's going to take some torpedo fire right there for the Viking. There's the grab, and another volley, and down goes the Phoenix right here. And Hasuobs driven away without problems whatsoever right here by SjoW. More Banshees coming on the way. Hasuobs is not really all that equipped to deal with it, honestly. There is only 1 observer on the field, and it is not in his base. That is very concerning, extremely concerning. Notice how sneaky that SjoW has actually been with placing those Banshees. Still absolutely completely out of sight right now. Looking for the 4th Banshee coming. The question is, where is he going to put it? He put that all the way back in his base, out of the way of the Phoenixes. And here we go, an air superiority force right here by SjoW. 6 Vikings and 4 Banshees on the way. And the scouting factory, and there we go. Hasuobs driven all the way back. He will not be able to deal with the firepower of that. Now the question is, what he's going to do to counter it? Well, it's certainly not going to be a Void Rain or Colossus, that I can tell you. Banshees moving on the way. Here comes the Cloak, and a Pylon coming down, and absolutely no sign of any detectors right now. Raining it down right now on the forces of Hasuobs. There's the scan. Vikings able to drive away the Phoenix. There's no problem right there for him whatsoever. SjoW is reaping, I do mean reaping, a terrible toll right now on Hasuobs' economy. Not the kind of thing you want whatsoever. Not 1 hero Banshee, but 3 hero Banshees right here. Viking back to Mandarin, exceptional 1 Phoenix down. Look at the second right here. Doesn't lose all that many at all. Single Viking brought down right here by the force of the Stalkers, but still, he does not have it. The Observer coming in, but the question is, will it be there in time? Already on the way. Take a lot of firepower from the ground on those Vikings right here. SjoW driven all the way back, and Hasuobs taking a lot of economic damage. Driven all the way back. Look at that. You can see the income of it. It's not good right now for Hasuobs. Looking for that expansion up there to the east. And the question is, will it remain safe? Observer now on the field. 2 more Phoenixes on the way. I wouldn't be surprised to perhaps see a Raven coming out from SjoW right there to deal with those observers, and of course to deal with the ground firepower with the point defense drone. That will make an awful lot of sense. In the meantime, SjoW with an armory on the way, engineering bait on the way, concussive shells on the way, looking for a ground attack. A pretty smart move right now, sitting on 23 Marines and 5 Marauders, and we'll have to see just how much damage he can really do with it. Hellion moving out for scouting information, should be able to grab it right there. And look at the air superiority of SjoW right now. 5 Banshees and 8 Vikings on the field. That armory will of course be able to provide some upgrades right here for the aircraft. A smart move for him. Moving across the field once again, and SjoW's ground army looking pretty good. 1-1 in terms of the upgrades, and no problems whatsoever for him. We've got 3 observers on the field right now for Hasuobs. Should be able to spot that without too much of a problem and deal with the cloaking Banshees. But the question is, does he have enough firepower to eliminate? 1 photo cannon down already, taking most of the fire on the factory right here. However, SjoW's going to use that as information to drive himself all the way across to this other expansion. And right now that is remaining undefended from air attacks. That Nexus could potentially go down from it. I would be very concerned about that. SjoW moving in, look at that, sitting on 5 Banshees and 8 Vikings, the Air Force of SjoW moving in. Hasuobs ready to intercept, moving in, here's the Cloak, and how much damage will be able to inflict it? Not a huge amount right now, and SjoW being driven away. However, SjoW's ground army is increasing in size and technology, so I would think he should be able to drive it from the ground if he starts to pile on this harassment. Looks for it once again. That's a lot of dead probes right now. Oh wow, there we go. Nicely done right there by SjoW, and once again moving all the way back. Assimilator might even go down right here, raining it down right now on the economy of his opponent. Now I'm just going to have to knock down the sound just a little bit because this is actually far, far too loud right now. There, I can't hear myself think at this point in time. So much violence, ladies and gentlemen, so much violence. There we go. That's a lot of dead Vikings. That was a critical error right there. And Hasuobs able to flank that force, able to deal with it as it went back, and a lot of lost Vikings. SjoW loses his air superiority in an instant, which is not what you want at this stage of the game at all. Have a look at the economy right now. We can have a look at a comparison. You'll quite clearly see that SjoW still pretty much ahead. He does have that third base up. 3 orbital command centers. However, I'd be very concerned about the 4 Stalkers moving across the map right now. Psystorm all the way for Hasuobs as well, almost complete, and looking to throw some Psystorm in the middle of those forces. And I wouldn't really blame him, honestly. He's only got 1 Colossus out on the field, so that's a nice switch over. Doesn't really want too many Colossi considering the number of Vikings that were on the field there. However, most of them have been dealt with. Here comes the snip charge from the rear. This could be very damaging right now for Hasuobs. Caught out of position. Takes 6, looks for the 7th right now. Can Hasuobs get away? Taking huge amounts of damage. Ripped in 2 right there by the forces of SjoW. Nice play there by him. And we are looking at a very evenly matched game so far in terms of units lost. We can have a look at the loss count, almost equal in terms of resources. And that is very good right now for SjoW. However, those High Templar could make all the difference. That's the kind of thing that I would be looking for right now if I were Hasuobs, landing a couple of good Psystorms in the middle of those large forces. Here we go. There's one. That's huge casualties inflicted right now. Hasuobs, there we go. Raining it down. SjoW is not living through this one. Oh, look at that. Nice fire there by Hasuobs. A flanking maneuver, however, comes in from SjoW. Good amount of damage done. Here comes the counter push. And the Psystorm's exhausted right now. Hasuobs will be pushed all the way back right here. SjoW taking a huge amount of damage. Still raining it down one way or the other. It is pretty evenly matched right now. However, SjoW has lost more resources than his opponent, and that could be damaging to him. Right now, income sitting on pretty much equal. However, Hasuobs slightly ahead. Depends how many more of those Templars able to warp in right there. Nails down one, blocks off that expansion opportunity right here for SjoW. And Hasuobs is still in a commanding position right now. He has map control, got a good number of High Templar on the field. It's kind of what you want, but I would be very concerned about the number of ghosts that are coming in right here for SjoW. If he gets enough ghosts on the field, he can snipe off that High Templar, no problem at all. And of course, the EMP draining the energy, and he's got those upgrades coming. He's already 2-2, looking for 3-3 right now on the upgrades. And Hasuobs is way behind right now, only with 1 armor and 1 weapon upgrade, and no signs of any other. More Colossi coming out on the field now that he knows that his opponent doesn't have air superiority in order to deal with that. Hasuobs still sitting on a good amount of money, and another Nexus coming up for him as well, preventing the expansion opportunities of SjoW. You can see right there, he's just sitting on that command center, but look at this. We do have a large drop force moving in right here. Looks like 12 Marauders, and that's going to make this base, it's going to crumple if it takes that much damage. However, Hasuobs is ready to intercept, and here comes the maneuvering right here. Forced to drop it off. SjoW does not have the forces to fend off a force of that size from Hasuobs unless he drops it in. And here we go, an expeditionary force right here of Marauders, as easily annihilated right now by Hasuobs, and still a commanding economic position in terms of what he's got on the field and in terms of his army size. If we have a look at army size comparison, you can see right there, army supply is in favor of SjoW right now, but we're looking for a good Psystorm. Sniped off immediately there, but those ghosts almost took one out with the feedback, but not quite. That could be problematic, and that might be a free command center right here. It's already on orange HP. However, SjoW easily maneuvers it out of the way. It is on fire, however. EMP, double EMP right now. Hasuobs driven all the way back, and SjoW still in quite a bit of trouble, however. He's going to lose that command center if he's not careful. Runs it right into a photon cannon. Down it goes. Nicely done right there by Hasuobs. Hasuobs driven away once again by force of Marauders. However, pushed back by the Colossi of Hasuobs. Another warp in right here. This is incredibly close right now. SjoW still has a good army count. He's got the army supply advantage. He's looking to get the upgrade advantage. He is just biding his time. Once he gets that 3-3, he will look for the push out, and it could be dangerous. Here come the Storms. Doesn't take too much out of there. A couple of Marines annihilated, but not a huge amount of damage. That's a mistake right there. SjoW moves that in and instantly blinks out. Hasuobs takes a free Banshee. No worries right there. Another Storm at the front takes out a couple of Marauders in the process. SjoW's army is getting torn apart right here. Still waiting for that 3-3, looking for the push out right now. Got a few SCVs in the mix as well. Looking to try and get out of that. He needs to right now. His opponent has held map control at least for 10 minutes, and that's not what you want at all. The income comparison now massively in favor of Hasuobs, because of course, look at that. You see that SjoW is drained. He's got 2 bases out of commission, and he's only relying on this one right now. The push has got to come in. It really does. SjoW needs to move out almost immediately. Loses a bunch of force with the Psystorm. There's a quick blink, loses one medivac, looks for the second one right here. There's the EMP, but no follow-up right now from SjoW. A little bit too slow, and there comes the charge. Hasuobs is taking the fight to the enemy. SjoW still looking for damage, but walking into Psystorm after Psystorm. The front line collapsing right now for SjoW. That is not looking good at all. A lot of firepower coming in from the back right here. However, SjoW does have the upgrade advantage. Will he be able to push through? His army supply is looking okay right now. Quick blink away. Those Colossi left in the middle of nowhere. Shield's gone down. One nail down. Looking for the second one. Still, SjoW is lacking in terms of his numbers right now. Archon on the field as well. That's not going to be good for SjoW at all. Archon carving his way through the footsteps. Quick blink right in. Takes some Rorna, looks for a second one, and that's a pull off the line right here for SjoW. And all of those SCVs are going to be devastated. Hasuobs has the advantage right now. He's looking for the final push. One Colossi down, but still not going to be enough. And only a couple of Marines left. A Storm rips through those SCVs. A second one at the back just for overkill. I think Hasuobs honestly got this one. Still holding the line, but only just GG, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. Good game called. And SjoW is eliminated by Hasuobs right here in the group stage. He takes one loss. That is really unpleasant for him, but an amazing set of play from both players right here on the crevasse.